punch.
In round 2, by CompuBox numbers, Vernon Forrest landed 32 out of 79 punches, 22 of 44 power shots. Mayorga 18 of 71. So Vernon wins the second round to level the scales a little bit after a 10-8 round for Mayorga in the first. Hard right hand by Mayorga. And another hard right hand hurts Forrest. And Forrest throws Mayorga off of it.
Don't be spinning.
I think the warning was good for Forrest, who had taken a big right hand from Mayorga.
Boy, you sign those big contracts, and the last thing on your mind is that you got to fight for the money.
George's reference is this is the first fight of a 6-fight deal between Vernon Forrest and HBO. Mayorga's left blocked by Forrest's glove.
Now Mayorga is going to the body too. He's acting like the boxer, landing shots that ordinarily. Whoa!
What an uppercut!
Yeah.
Mayorga says, "I've got an uppercut too."
Forrest has made a very good adjustment by trying to catch Mayorga as he comes in with his uppercut.
Another big right hand from Mayorga. Forrest is going to have to be brave in this fight. There's no other way against a guy like this. Body shot by Forrest. Right hand by Mayorga. Vernon counters with a right and busts him right in the chops. Big right hand by Mayorga.
Forrest put in a good left hook a moment ago, and that hurt.
Vernon wobbling on his feet as he threw the right, and he goes down in the face of a crushing right cross.
And that time he was seriously hurt.
Yeah, look at the wobbling in Vernon Forrest. Marty Dinkins stops the fight. Marty Dinkins stopped the fight, and Ricardo Mayorga has done it.
Let's see Vernon Forrest come into the ring rapping the next time. He was celebrating his championship before he had a serious chance to defend it.
George Foreman.
But I told you, if you moves his head and throw those big shots, he's got a big chance of doing it. He did it tonight. Vernon Forrest just caught off balance. He did not expect that kind of fight.
And the key was that Mayorga was able to take some serious punches from Forrest and stayed in there long enough, and Forrest felt he had to fight him, so it was Mayorga who dictated how the fight was being fought.
You never fight a fighter, you box him. This guy, Vernon Forrest, started fighting a fighter. You don't do that. A puncher, you box him. That was the biggest
Forrest
mistake.
came out and started warring with him in round 2.
Once he got that knockdown, once he was called for the knockdown, he just felt like he had to get in there and fight for his reputation.
At which point, George, you said, look at this, Forrest has great heart. In retrospect, too much heart?
Too much heart. Amen. No better. I couldn't have said it any better. Too much heart. You got to have your skills and your trainer's advice. His trainer told him constantly, don't stand in the middle of the ring. Box. Move around.
When you're the better boxer, box. I don't understand how in the world he couldn't have known what Mayorga wanted to do. He only fights one way. I mean, there isn't another wrinkle in Mayorga's game. That's what he does. And Vernon Forrest got himself caught.
I tell you one thing, that boy doesn't smoke cigarettes, as they say. He had energy galore.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the knockout and see how it happened. Here we go, George. He had landed a couple of big right crosses. There's another one.
All night long he's been doing that on the tip, but this time he got him right flesh on the button.
Here's
flush on the button.
Through the left, missed
look
the
at
left,
that knee.
That's
why the referee looked at it and said, look, maybe I'm going to stop this.
And he stood and waved his finger back and forth in front of Vernon's face, looking at Forrest's eyes to see if they followed. And hey, I think it's a good stoppage. Forrest's legs were gone.
He had almost broke his knee.
You keep going back in against a guy like this, you could get hurt.
No, you just got to box and move. That's your skill. You got the reach. Take advantage of it.
Mayorga closed the show, landing 16 of his last 32 power shots, including the series of brutal right hands that set that right hand shot up and produced an earthquake in the welterweight division because you got yourself a new unified welterweight champion.
That's what happens on HBO all the time.
Indeed. Vernon Forrest's 6-fight contract just came and went.
Don't sign those contracts.
But it was a good entrance, as Larry said.
He'll be back. He's got the skill.
Oh, he's a good fighter. He's a terrific fighter with a great following. But this just goes to show you anything can happen in the sport.
He will be back.
So let's go to Michael Buffer now for the particulars on the shocking knockout as we look at Marty Denkin wave it off and say bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Marty Denkin calls a halt to this contest at 2 minutes and 6 seconds of round number 3. The winner by knockout victory. He is now the unified WBA, WBC welterweight champion of the world, Ricardo El Matador Mayorga.
Later, Mayorga won a close decision in a rematch with Forrest, then eventually was outboxed by change-up artist Corey Spinks, proving that there's a style out there to beat anyone. In moving all the way up to middleweight to face off against Trinidad, Mayorga will be thrilled to find an opponent whose instinct it won't be to hide from him, but rather to stand in there and trade with him. And that's why, if you're a fight fan, you circle